Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is Sarcasm Speaks. We are Jared and Bob. We got some sports stuff going on lately. It's been a while since we've done some sports. Sorry, I was thirsty. Um, Two things actually. One of them, we'll start with golf, right? Because that's kind of where we live a little bit more. Um, so the PGA had the Tour Championship last weekend. It's the final event of their playoffs. They have a three-event playoff now. They try to obviously end the season before football starts because they don't want to compete on Sundays. But Tommy Fleetwood won. Now, for anyone out there that's not a golf fan and doesn't really understand any context there, allow me to lay it out for you. And then feel free to, jump in at any point too to share your own thoughts on it. Tommy Fleetwood has been the guy on the PGA Tour that's had he's been very talented, right? I don't want to say all the talent in the world because he's never once been confused as the best golfer in the world, but he's certainly consistently been in or around the top 10, right? The top 10 best in the world at any given time, right? Roughly. Like I said, depending on when you look at it over the last probably 6 or 7 years ish. So he's always been there, right? He's been in the lead in I don't know how many tournaments, but he's never won, right? And then I don't know how many times he's been in the lead on a Sunday, or to start off on a Sunday, right? As you call it in the final pairing, and then not won, right? Not been able to pull it off. But it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So he's never won on the PGA Tour, but he's extremely talented. Um, has won on the Euro Tour, right? And I think my first statement was incorrect. He has won on the PGA Tour, but not on the US soil, right? He's won like was it a co-sanctioned PGA Euro event?
He's never won a PGA Tour event.
Okay, so he's never won a
He's won
PGA
like
Tour event.
he's won like 7 times in Europe.
Okay, yeah, I know he's won in Europe, right, on the Euro Tour. But I always heard a lot of people say he's never won on US soil, but maybe that's when they go to like the Canada events and they're like, "Oh yeah, Tommy
Yeah, no, he's
Fleetwood's going
never
to win in
won.
Canada."
So he's never won. That was his first PGA Tour event. Because the other thing too is on Saturday he had the most career top tens on the PGA Tour without a win, with like 12 or something.
Yeah. 163 events. It was his winless streak. 163 PGA Tour events. So again, this is the story of this guy, right? Tommy Fleetwood. Extremely talented, has never won on the PGA Tour, always been there, kicking around, had the lead on a Sunday, always blew it, right? I think he's blown it 3 times this season alone when he's had the lead on a Sunday. So classically, in not really the biggest event of the year, but arguably one of the biggest PGA Tour events of the year. I mean, it's certainly the highest paying, right, of all the PGA Tour events of the season. Um, he's got the lead on Sunday, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's going to be great to see how Tommy blows it to this time. Oh, how's he going to fuck it up that now?" All that, and wouldn't you know, Tommy Fleetwood pulled it off. His very first PGA Tour win after 163 starts on the tour came in the Tour Championship to win the technical championship of golf for the season in, again, arguably one of the biggest events of the year. That's where he gets his first win.
I mean, they did change the format a little bit, so it's not like if he had won it last year. But yeah, I
Right.
mean, still same idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like that, Scotty Scheffler got a big payout. either at the end of the regular season or after I don't really remember when.
Yeah. I mean, I would say this winning it this way is more legitimate, right? Because so that was the other thing too for anyone out there that doesn't know what we're talking about. What the PGA Tour used to do is in their playoffs, right? You would play, it's changed a lot over the years, but I think it was like 125 people. The top 125 people in FedEx Cup points throughout the season go in tournament number one, right? Of tournament number one, next, it's like the top 75 people in FedEx Cup points after that first event move on to event number two. And then, and again, it's changed over the years. It used to be 30. I think maybe now it's 50. Make
Still
it
there, still 30 for
still
the
30.
last.
Okay. They go to the final event at East Lake for the PGA Tour Championship. And what they used to do is in the final event, right? They would stagger start with strokes. So if you were leading in the FedEx Cup points, you were number one going into the championship, you started minus 10 strokes, right? And the person in second place started minus nine, so on and so forth through, even par, right? I think it was probably 15 people, maybe ish, started like maybe because I think a couple people started minus one. So I think if you were in the top half, you got at least one stroke. And then if you were below 15 to 30, you started even, like a normal tournament. So it used to be goofy, right? People used to not really give it a lot of credence because of it, because they're like, oh, well, this guy's going to start minus 10. Like, how is someone that starts minus four going to catch him? And then the other part of this, too, right? I know I'm taking a lot of tangents here, but for years and years and years, it's always been fuck, man. Imagine if they didn't have this staggered start, how many times Xander Schauffele would have won this tournament? Because, again, for anyone that doesn't know, Xander Schauffele absolutely tears this course up. It is by far his best performing course out of any on the tour schedule. He crushes every time he plays here. Like, I think one of the years he started, I don't know, it was probably like minus four, minus six, because he was pretty close to the top, but he wasn't the top and he lost, right? He came in second place and he was like maybe four strokes off the winner, whoever it was. Like, it was always Xander was always finishing like second or third, but he could never win because he was never close enough to the top. He was never like one or two going in to get those, 10, 9, 8 strokes or whatever. So then this year, the one year they decide to do away with the strokes. Guess who doesn't make the top 30 in FedEx Cup points? Xander fucking Schauffele. Like the one guy that probably that would have been the only tournament in the last, I don't know, 3 years where going in, you might have had two guys, being one being Scotty and one being Xander, that were under plus 300 odds to win the tournament. Scotty might have been plus 175, and then Xander might have been like plus 250.
I was point taken, but Toffley would have been 8 to 1. The Scotty Scheffler is just that much better than everybody.
No, I know that, but still, like it's just go figure, right?
Yeah, well,
When they
so
do
hey,
away with the strokes.
self-proclaimed in the interview, he said he's played like ass this year, and he
Yeah,
would be correct.
right, right. So I don't know. I guess tip of the cap to Tommy Ladd finally getting his win in again one of the biggest events of the year. So I guess in your opinion, where would you rank the tour championship in like level of importance?
Low,
Because as a
low.
fan, this is where it's weird because I would say as a fan, it's probably pretty low. But for these guys on tour, it's probably just below the majors and the players.
Mm,
If you want to count the players as a fifth major, that's fine.
under what criteria?
As a tournament that they would love to win, right? So like if you lined up the top 125 guys, right, on tour, and you said subtract the majors and the players, name the three tournaments that you really want to win this year, I bet you most of them is going to have the tour championship.
Only because of the payday though.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. That was my point is
Oh,
as a fan for us, it's low on the list. But like for these guys, like the actual like PGA professionals, it's probably pretty high,
yeah,
right? It's
but if you
probably just
said
below the majors.
so, if you said that the Arnold Palmer, the Genesis at Riviera, uh, Muirfield Village, what the fuck is Jackson? Oh, the Memorial.
Yep.
Um, mm, Pebble's a pro-am, so probably not Pebble. So let's just go with those three: the Arnold Palmer, the Memorial. Um, Fuck, what was the third one I said? I already lost it. Oh, Riv. The Genesis at Riviera. If all of those paid out the exact same amount as the Tour Championship, I bet you the Tour Championship would come in fourth out of four in terms of level of importance.
Yeah,
So,
probably.
because that's the thing, it's there's money on the table, but I don't think any of them really give a flying fuck about winning at East Lake, about beating 29 guys, because that, in my opinion, that's the biggest joke out of all of this. It's only 30 guys. Like, so yes, he won, but it's like, of course he fucking won. It's only you only had to beat 29 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and as I think people go, well, it's 30 of the best people. It's like, well, it wasn't 30 of the best people because the number three golfer in the world wasn't in the field. And all year you have these full fields, and that's where shit gets crazy. But
Right.
regardless. Um, So yeah, I mean they want to win the FedEx Cup because of the cash that comes with it. Now I didn't look at like what the actual pay table was and how it changed versus last year, because last year was like winner take all with the net event. Um this year I know, I like I said, there was a big payout for regular season performance as well, so it wasn't all in the FedEx Cup. But yeah, I mean Tommy Fleetwood got a nice little payout for himself. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess if if you include the money, then they want to win this one because that's a shitload of money. If you take the money out of it, I'm guessing it's probably pretty low in level of importance.
Yeah. I 100% agree.
And then I even think too, if you account for golf being a global game, it's like some of these guys would probably rather win their national open than, like, there's definitely people that would rather win an Australian Open than fucking the tour championship.
Yeah.
Outside of the perks, right? If we just stick to the tournament,
Right. Right.
which kind of isn't fair. I don't know. I fucking hate this thing. So 10 million to the winner. And I think that's like it. Whereas last year it was like a $10 million bonus, but you also get a payout for winning the actual tournament. So I think Scotty Scheffler walked away with like 14 million just from winning the FedEx Cup last year because there was an additional four for the actual event, which
Right.
makes no sense.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what they want with this stupid ass tour championship because they previously, until 2018, I think it was 2018 was the last year of it, because that year Tiger won the tour championship, but I think Justin Rose won the FedEx Cup.
Yeah.
Um, and if it wasn't Justin Rose, it was probably somebody else. Doesn't matter. But they got like so bent out of shape that Tiger won the event, but Justin Rose won the cup. But it's like you said, it was a season long thing, and they're like, yeah, well, the season should matter, but then it's a playoff. But in every other sport that's ever existed, playoffs are a new slate. So is it a playoff or is it a season long? I don't know what they want from this thing.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't think they know either. And then there's a plenty of people on Twitter that want it to be match play, and I don't see that ever happening. They don't play match play ever.
Yeah.
So why the fuck would they do that? And then FedEx, it's like, oh, okay, cool. So so we'll set a bracket of 32 guys. And what happens if Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele, and Justin Thomas all get knocked out first round?
Yeah.
Who's left?
Yeah. Then we've got
Jacob Bridgman? Is Jacob Bridgman?
Harris English, Chris Gotterup, like Ben Griffin.
That's what I mean. Is like, do we want? Is that what we want for a Final Four? FedEx will freak the fuck out. They go
Yeah.
20 mil, $40 million for that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, someone once posed match play with the top 12. Like it was stroke play Thursday, Friday, and then match play, I think Saturday, Sunday, and the top 12 in strokes on Friday went on to match play on the weekend.
Not enough time to do that. They'd have to start on Wednesday,
Oh yeah.
or you'd have to ask these guys to play more golf, which they are not going to do because you would need. So if it was 12, would you have four buys? Yeah, you would need four buys,
Yeah, because you would have 8 to 4, which would play the 4 buys,
which would bring four. Yeah,
which
so then
would
you would
bring
still have
back to
eight.
8,
So
then
then
to
you would need.
4, then to 2, and you have your winner.
So yeah, so you would have to
So it'll be
play
8, 8, 4, 2.
36, 36, 18. So you need 3 days for that. And again, you're asking these guys to play 36. They're not going to do
Right,
that.
right.
Um, so I don't know. I don't know how they fucking end the year. But of course, Fleetwood's only win. I wish his only win was the fucking hero. So people could debate whether it was legit or not.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think back of how NASCAR did it back in I don't have no idea how they do it now. It's gone through so many different iterations, but they first implemented a playoff probably in like the mid 2000s ish, maybe like go 5, 6, 7, like that time frame. Right after they switched over to be in the Nextel Cup, or then there was the Sprint Cup because Sprint bought Nextel. After they ditched the Winston Cup with like the cigarettes, Winston, things got a little weird. Um, but yeah, so I think what it was you had the top 10 guys were in the playoffs, right? And again, I have no idea what it is now, but I believe if I remember correctly, the original playoffs in NASCAR were, and they had a 42 car field at the time. So they're all full field events, right? So the last 10 events of the year were considered the playoffs. You had the top 10 drivers in points were competing with each other head to head, but it was still a full field event. So like the person that could win the race that week might not be in the playoffs. So like they don't get any playoff points, but they still won the race and they still got paid like they won the race, right? So like that's how they did that. So you could come in third place, but if you were the highest playoff person that week, like you would be number one in points. Obviously in week one, once you get further into the playoffs, it gets a little bit more gray depending on how the separation between them, but that's theoretically how it went. So I think like in golf, the equivalent would be still full field events, right? But you would have the playoff people, quote unquote, like they're the ones that are still kind of playing for something, but the people that are in the tournament can still win the tournament, right? They just don't get the the FedEx Cup trophy. It's
You
not
that's
perfect, right?
no,
But
I actually kind of don't hate that. I just know that they would never do because again, the playoffs are supposed to be a spectacle.
yeah,
And again, there's no spectacle if fucking Kurt, oh my God, what the fuck's his name?
Kurt
Kurt
Kitayama.
Kitayama. There's no spectacle if Kurt Kitayama wins the tour championship, but finishes well or entered the week at 29.
Yeah,
Or no, sorry, it wouldn't even have to be that. If he entered the week at fucking 120, but because it's a full field, he wins, and you have a bunch of nobodies, and then they award it to Scotty Scheffler for the
right.
season.
But
Like that's
then you have the 2018 Tiger and Justin Rose thing.
which I don't. So again, I don't know what the fuck they want to do. Just
I don't
make
have a problem with that though.
the
Like I
FedEx
don't.
Cup could just be a regular season title, and then the
Yeah,
playoffs could be a playoffs. They could be a playoff
playoffs.
title. Because I heard Lou Stagner always says it. He goes, accumulate the four tournaments. So if someone wins the first event, shooting 15 under, or really anybody, whatever you shoot in that first event, you take it to the next event and you still
Yeah,
cut.
that would actually be pretty cool.
So then that would do a couple things. So you still cut the top. So you still go from 70 to 50 to 30. And then when Roars doesn't want to play the first event, okay, you get the whoever's last that moved on, whatever they are, that's where you start.
Yeah.
And then I think he would play that first event pretty fucking fast.
Yeah, because that's a problem too. People skipping playoff.
Yeah,
Like
because they
when it
skip
was
events because
four,
they don't need the points.
when it
They were
used to
doing
be
it too. They were
four,
doing it then too,
they
though.
were skipping everyone was skipping the first one. Like
Some
so
people
many
were
people
skipping
would
the
skip
first
the
two.
first one. Yeah,
They'd skip
yeah.
the first two because there was no way that they were going to be outside of 50.
Right. Right. So yeah, I mean I like that idea a lot
They need,
actually.
but that's the thing though. They need to decide what the fuck they want out of the
Yeah,
FedEx Cup. Because if it's a season long award, then just give it before the playoffs and let the playoffs just stand on their own.
right. Yeah.
But these guys don't want that either.
Yeah. So
That's part of the problem. They make enough that they don't have to do shit like that.
yeah.
Give them
And
less.
give them less.
Oh, dude, I'm serious. If Live fucking dissolves, I would not be surprised to see those purses cut.
Yeah. That's
But then you give them less. Now they got to play again. Let's fucking go,
right.
boys.
Right. Right. Yeah, that would be really shitty, but also I wouldn't
Oh,
be surprised. Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing too, right? They've been saying this for a long time about the PGA Tour. They don't give a shit about the fans. They only give a shit about the sponsors, right? So
yep.
fans could stop going, stop watching, stop doing whatever, but those
They're not
sponsors are
gonna.
still going to pony up.
People still watch.
Yeah. No, no, no. I know that. I'm not going to say like no one's going to watch, but if the viewership drops 3%, right, or something like that, they don't give a shit. They're still getting their money from Rolex and FedEx and,
Yeah, it's when they start bitching.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Genesis, right? Like all the John Deere, well, all of the sponsors, right? Century, when they start complaining, then shit will get done.
yeah. We gotta do two tonight, right?
Yeah. Do you want to wrap
Okay.
this up?
Let's just really quickly hit golf. Did you see the Masters in the Open Championship, what they announced?
No.
So if you win a goofy fall event, you're not in the Masters now.
Really?
So it has to be a real. full FedEx Cup point allotment tournament to get into the Masters. And then what they did, both of them are the Open hasn't announced exactly which ones. I don't have it in front of me, but it's something like Scottish Open, Spanish Open, um, Hong Kong Open, Japan Open, Australian Open, and there's like one more. So it was six. I fucking
Yeah.
forget the last one. If you win one of those opens, you're South Africa, you're in. You're into the Masters, you're into the Open Championship. So not
Wow.
only does that kind of like it's kind of like the Masters and the R&A saying like, yeah, we're gonna fucking handle this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like we're gonna make this shit a little bit more global. Like
Right.
that's because everyone wants a more global game. They go, here we are.
Yeah.
Like that Australian Open would be sick if it had
Yeah.
just a little more importance, and now it does.
Right.
The other thing is all the live guys can play in most of those events.
Right.
So, and I like that because if you win the Napa Valley wine tasting open, why do you get in?
Right.
But if you win
Yeah.
a national open, now you get both.
That's awesome. Good. I'm glad they did that. That
And
is
then
that is true.
the
The
Open
RNA and
Championship, because they have a bigger field, I think they'll actually extend that to a few more. Like they might have so the Masters made an exemption for six. The R&A might do 13, 15, something like that. Like they
yeah,
might do every national open. You win a national open, you're
like
in. Argentina, sure.
the Thailand Open.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say there'll be a few. They got to draw the line somewhere, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, like they could go with most of the bigger countries. Like you could
Yeah.
do, and like they probably want to hit the different continents. So it's like South Africa, Australia, maybe New Zealand, um, Japan,
Probably
something in
Argentina, like you said,
something in
like
Korea.
Chile.
Probably, and I was gonna say Argentina is the biggest one in South America, so probably
Yeah.
that. Like, there's no
There's a
big
lot of
Brazilian Open.
golfers from Argentina.
Argentina would probably be that. That's why I said it's actually like a
Yeah.
legit one. It will not be the Papua New Guinea one.
Yeah.
And then whichever European countries want to pony up. Like if BMW wants to pony up, then it will be the German Open.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's
Like they'll
cool.
probably
I like that.
so
I
yeah.
like that a lot.
I thought that was a nice little development.
Yeah. Yeah. Good for them being the adults, figuring it out.
Someone has to be.
Yeah.
It's always going to be Augusta. Like if you need adults, like that is like when everyone's bickering, the
Yeah.
master shows up and goes, "All right, children, shut
Yeah.
up."
Yeah. Shut up. I got
Yeah,
it.
the adults are talking.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, want to wrap this up?
We can wrap this up.
All right.
Uh, and I can actually just round this out with golf completely. So, one question that I actually now I do not know how to answer is it worth the price? Now, sometimes I can say yes, sometimes I can say no. But that often happens whether it's public courses or tournament courses or stuff like that. So, for example, like I played Myopia this year. It was $300. For a lot of people, that's a lot of money to play around a golf, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if someone asks me, is it worth it? Well, I don't know. How much do you value going to play at Myopia Hunt Club?
Right.
Because I valued it a lot more this year because the date was good and we didn't get to play last year. So the value of it became a little bit higher. And I've never paid
Right.
less than 275 for it. So even over time, some of these rounds have gone from like 150 to 250, 150 to 300. I think I talked about Wanamoisit. They jacked the price way, 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 way up, lost a shitload of money on us, and then brought it back down in the middle somewhere.
Right.
Um, but someone texted me about an upcoming event, and he goes, "Oh, is it worth it?" I go, "Dude, I don't know. Like, how much is that money worth to you?"
Right.
I go I put more value like on a shotgun start on a day that works for me at a place that's cool and like
Yeah.
I'm like there's worse values and there's better values. I don't know.
Right.
Like I don't know how to
Right.
answer that. unless
Yeah.
a place like absolutely sucks. But like usually a place isn't going to absolutely suck and be very expensive.
Right, right.
And a guy phrased it to me one time, and I really like the way he said this. And it was before I ever played myopia, and 275 was a lot. It's still, I mean, 275 still is a lot for a
Yeah,
round. Don't get me
yeah.
wrong. But I asked him, I go, how's myopia? He goes, it's good. I go, he's like, it's kind of a lot though. I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't know. I'm like, whatever. He goes, well, he goes, you should play it. He goes, you should pay for it and play it once. And then you can make the decision after that. He goes, if you've never played it, you're not really, he goes, you really
Right,
can't make the right call.
right,
And I like the way that that was phrased. And I said that to Jim today. I was like, listen, man, like, if you don't want to spend it, don't.
right.
But like, I'm looking around on that sheet and I go, and some of this shit is fucking crazy right now. Like, some of this
Yeah,
stuff has gotten expensive. So
yeah,
that's the thing, like 250, 275 to play a top private. It's just which one? Because because I won't pay that for many of them, but I'll pay
right,
it for some of them.
right.
And like, so Moisted specifically, it's around that. It might be two and a quarter. I don't really remember. It's two.
Yeah.
It's either two and a quarter or it's 255. I don't remember what it is. And I won't be playing that this year because I have played that probably 5 times in the last four. And I paid a lot last year, but I paid a lot last year because it fit my schedule. So I'm like, okay, I'm
Right,
doing it.
right,
This year I will not be doing it because there's an event after that I want to play in. So it's like, so for me, this year, that's too much, even though I paid more last year.
right, right.
Um, and then like Nishotic is like shot up in price too. I go, no, that's not worth it, in my
Right,
opinion. But
right.
then I go back and I'm like, damn, some of these courses in May were like quite good. Probably want to get in on that next time.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's just like it's one of those things. Someone asked me, I usually when I ask, I don't really question the money because I usually want to know about the golf course first and foremost.
Yeah, that's the important thing.
Yeah, usually, and then yeah, if I don't want to spend it, I won't.
Right, right.
Sometimes I don't care, and sometimes I don't care, and then I was like, oh man, I should have cared. But yeah, so it's like it's one of those. I don't know how to answer that anymore. And it's like one kid at the gym, he was gonna go play. He was gonna go play at Kirkbray with a member.
Okay,
He
yeah,
goes, yeah. He goes, yeah. I think it's like 120 as a guest fee. I go, honestly, dude, 120 kind of like just isn't that expensive anymore.
no, it's not,
Like not to play a
unfortunately. Yeah,
private with a
yeah,
cart, like
right.
some of these publics are 160
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they're
like
not
the
nearly as
Shaker
good.
Hills and
Yep, Shaker Hills is crazy
um
now. Waverly's up there, Pine
what's
Hills
the
is
other
up
one that's
there.
right by it in Devon's? Red
Red
something,
Tail, Red
Red
Tail,
Tail.
like all
That's
of these are like
160. They're
160 or
all
higher.
160, which is insane to think that me and Vinny played Shaker Hills with Justin maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and it was like $90,
Yeah, I was gonna say
and
I
now it's
played one day.
160.
I played with the accountants one day. I think it was the accountants, I forget. Um, $85.
Yeah,
But they did a whole renovation. They got a fucking rooftop thing. They got a drive-in car. I'm like, none of
yeah,
that
they're all
appeals
over
to me.
Instagram on that
And that's the
stupid
thing, none of that
drive-in
and
thing.
that's the piece. None of that appeals to me. So
Yeah,
it's like if you ask, is it worth it? I go, I would say no, because
yeah.
the
I
things
don't
that
give a
they're
shit about driving a
offering
cart
me,
in a barn to get a water.
yeah, I don't
Like,
want to hit
just
off a
give me a
roof.
water.
I'd actually prefer not to hit off a roof. I got a thing about heights.
Yeah,
It's why I can't
yeah.
hit the ball at Top Golf. Um, so like but it's funny because it always comes up and it's just like, is it worth it? I'm like, well, I don't know what's worth it.
Right,
Like, was Pebble
right.
Beach worth it? Yeah. I paid a
Yeah,
fuckload to play Pebble Beach.
yeah, yeah,
I think by the time I tipped my caddy, it was an $800 round, but
yeah.
I thought it was worth it
Yeah, it's Pebble
because
fucking Beach.
where else do you get that experience?
Right,
Nowhere. There's
right,
only one of them.
right, right.
So,
So,
yeah, I don't know how to answer that question anymore. And then, like, I'm not going to be an ass. Like, someone goes, DW, is that worth it? Yes, that is worth it because it's not that expensive relative to what's around, and that's a good solid course. Go play it.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, do you think it's worth it to go play Waverly? I don't know, man. That place is a fucking ass kicker, and you're gonna pay for it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that would I go crosswinds would be work like crosswinds would probably be my move if you're gonna be in Plymouth.
Yeah.
But some people love the Pine Hills experience, and some people love that Waverly is like semi-difficult and they clean your clubs at the end. Like, I just don't give a fuck about that stuff.
Right. Right. So, speaking of weird questions, this is a quick one. I got one the other day. We were at Target checking out, and there was a woman behind us, and I was holding the kid, and he was like waving whatever, doing whatever, and the woman was like, "Oh, how old is he?" And I go, "Oh, he'll be 2 next month." She goes, "2 years?" And my initial reaction was like, "No,
Decades.
months."
Who
Like,
what?
like what the fuck do you think 2 year? Like two what? Like what
Who
other like
what?
eons, epochs? Like what other
Let's say
measure of time do
what
we
unit
use?
I was gonna say because there's weeks. He's older
Yeah.
than weeks.
Yeah, he's older than weeks, he's older than
He's
months,
older than
right?
months. Because what is it? Once you hit 18 months, you're out of months, basically.
Yeah, basically. So
Yeah, so what
I
unit of measurement? Like 2 feet? He's probably bigger than 2 feet tall.
he's huge. And that gets to the crux of the situation when the woman, because she was like 2 years, and I was like, yeah, and she goes, "Oh my God." And then she like looks away, and like the register opened up at Target, so we walked over, and I was like, yeah, he's fucking big, dude. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like he's a tank. Like he's
Well,
in like the 90 plus
I
percentile. We
I
actually have a we have his 2 year appointment in a couple weeks. So we'll find out like how big he actually is, but he's been tracking at like 90 plus percent. His appointment in like March, he was the 99th percentile in his height and I think head size, and
I
like
was gonna say
80th
it's gonna
percentile in
be
his weight.
it's gonna
So he's a
be fucking
fucking unit,
enormous.
right? Like, yeah, I get it, but he's two.
You're gonna be explaining for a long time that uncle is enormous
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, it's you and Amy breaking exactly zero records for height and
Yeah.
size.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, his uncle's six. What's the next 6'4", 6'3"?
Yeah. 6'3", I think. And
Like,
like I have uncles that are tall, right? So
yeah,
like
it's like
my uncle on my dad's side is probably about 6 feet. And then one of my two of my mom's brothers were tall. One of them was not. So like it's there. It just didn't hit me.
somewhere. Yeah, it skipped you.
Yeah, it skipped me. Um, so yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's just funny, right? Because I don't know. So the other thing that does is it completely skews my ability to figure out how old kids are. Because like, so Amy's cousin has a kid that's 3, right? He's probably like 18 months older. They're the same size, right? Like the 3-year old is a little bit bigger, but like, yeah, not by much, right? Like they're effectively the same size. So I'm like, yo, this kid is, and I think we were just with them not too long ago, because they just had another baby. But I think they said that their son is like in like the 50th percentile for his age.
Average they could be.
Yeah, like very average, right? For a 3-year old. And our kid is effectively the same size, right? So he's huge for 2, but he would be average for 3 plus. The kid's like 3.5 now, but like again, it's one of those like I have no ability to figure out how old kids are now because my kid is 2, but he's way fucking bigger than everybody.
Well, the good news is it gets no easier because that, like, people think that that's like not, um, that doesn't like stay until like these kids get, like honestly until these kids get to like 2021, it can be very variable for a very long time.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Like
I was one of the tallest kids in school growing up
not
until high
even not
school.
even that. It's just like,
Like you have no idea what's going to happen.
well, it's the thing. It's like I had two kids walk in work with me yesterday. One's 9, one's 12, and it's like, yeah, they're both big for their size.
Yeah.
And then it's like later that day, another 12-year-old came in, almost the size of the 9-year-old. I don't know. But that's the thing. It's like you're trying to figure out like how old these kids are. It's like no one's able to do that.
Yeah.
Not if you don't
Yeah.
know them, or
Right.
not if there's no frame of reference.
Right.
It's the same reason why everyone thinks Tank's been in college for like 6 years, and he's a junior in high school. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, just one of those funny situations, I guess. So that's gonna do it here for game one. So thanks for watching wherever you're at. Hit the thumbs up above, subscribe on whatever service you're on. Check out the show notes, support us, support the show. And until next time, good night, everybody.